Hey everybody, this is Andrew from T is for Tech, and today what I have is another microphone from a company called TONOR. Now I've done a couple different microphone reviews from TONOR mics in the past, and they've mostly been USB microphones, right? So a couple things, I believe it was the TONOR, no I don't even remember now, the TONOR TC20 and the TONOR, another TONOR, I forgot which one it was. But the TC20 was the last one that I did a review on. But like I said, so those were USB microphones, kind of plug right directly into the computer, whereas this one now is a condenser microphone that has an XLR input, or an XLR output, however you want to say it. So condenser microphone. Now this kit for the TONOR TC20 comes with a boom arm, a shock mount, and a pop filter, as well as the microphone. So if you're looking for a setup that is an XLR microphone and you have to get a boom arm and all of that anyways, if you're going to do game streaming or podcasting, voiceover, maybe recording some instruments and things like that, this might be a good option for you because you get the whole kit and you don't have to worry about the separate pieces and all of that. So you kind of get everything you need to get started minus an audio interface. Because this is an XLR, you're going to need some sort of audio interface to get this to interface with your computer. So there's tons of different USB audio interfaces that you can get. There's like a Focusrite, Scarlett, some other types of those audio interfaces, and they range in price from, you know, maybe $40, $50 to $150, a couple $100. Really depends on the interface, whether you get a single input XLR, all the bells and whistles that you might have on it. But the thing is, you will need an XLR USB interface in order to make this work. So what I'm going to test this on when I get to that portion of the video is I have a RODECaster Pro, which is a kind of like a podcasting interface that can also be a USB interface for the computer. And I'm going to use that to drive this microphone and do the testing. But right now what I'm going to do is just a quick unboxing, kind of take a look at what you get in the box. And then obviously there's going to be a portion of this video where I connect it to my computer and I talk and give you some sound testing. You have your instruction manual, shows the boom arm, pop filter, shock mount, all of that right there. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, so here they show that basically you need an audio interface. So this microphone is a cardioid polar pattern, has a 16 millimeter capsule size, signal to noise ratio of 94 decibels, sensitivity, frequency response of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. And a little more information about that. Now, from what I understand, this TONOR mount is an upgraded arm mount. Now I do have another TONOR microphone mount from a while ago that I bought separately and from Amazon, and it's not as beefy as this. So this is kind of like more of like, I have a Rode boom arm as well, and this looks more sturdy, right? So the base of it, kind of a C-clamp, goes on your desk or goes on any kind of other thing that you can clamp this on. And yeah, pretty hefty. So let's take all this out and then look at it. So you actually get quite a lot of stuff here. So first thing I'll do is I'll take a look at this boom arm. So the arm itself, I don't know if you can see this, is pretty beefy. It has, you know, it has a kind of like a three-piece base, dual springs, you know, pretty hefty duty, feels like aluminum. At the bend here, again, multiple springs on either side. And the ability to adjust the tension and lock it with this kind of wing nut here. So you've got a bunch of different ways to adjust this, but the idea is that it kind of gets mounted on your in that C clamp, and then you can move it around, adjust the height and the direction and how the actual shock mount is mounted to the boom arm. So this is actually really feels well made. Definitely better than kind of the cheaper one I had seen before. So that's the boom arm. You also get a pop filter which kind of attaches to the arm, and this has kind of a dual layer fabric here. So again, to kind of try to reduce the plosives that you would have, the p sounds and all of that. So this is pretty nice. And this is the standard kind of gooseneck, clamp it on and move it around sort of thing. You see these all over the place. There's a foam filter or a foam cover to go on the top of the microphone. So that can also help with wind or even the plosives if you don't have it right up to your mouth. This might be able to also kind of protect from that happening on the microphone. Get your XLR cable, a couple cable straps, cable ties that you can use for the XLR cable to tie it to the boom arm. Get your standard shock mount, so the microphone goes in there, and then that isolates it from the arm. And then, like I said, here's the C clamp that you'll clamp onto something to put the boom arm in. And then the microphone itself. So the microphone itself looks pretty nice, feels pretty heavy, feels quality, I guess. That's how I would say it feels like it's made well. Has the XLR interface on the bottom. You plug that in. This is a front address mic, so you want to talk into this part of it where the logo is. So that's where the condenser pickup is on the microphone. And then you basically just kind of squeeze this and then slide that in. And you can kind of adjust it a bunch of different ways just by swiveling it. But that's basically it, right? So you can plug that in, screw this onto the arm, and then you have the microphone ready to start using. So that's what you get in the box. The most important part of this, I think, actually probably is the sound. So what does this actually sound like when I plug it in and kind of talk into it? So what I'm going to do now is jump over to the computer. I'm going to hook this up to the RODECaster Pro and get that dialed in. And I will probably just plug it into Premiere and then talk over in Premiere and kind of give you my feedback of what it sounds like. So let's hop over to the computer and do the sound test. So right now I'm testing this. I'm talking directly into the microphone. It's at my mouth level. It's running through the RODECaster Pro, and there's no additional sound processing on the RODECaster Pro. So this should be as straight through of a signal as I can get, at least in my setup. So this is with no effects or anything like that. So this is the microphone sound, and from what I can tell, there's a little bit of plosives and mouth or breath against the microphone because it is not. There's nothing in front of it, so I'm really talking right into the metal grill, and I can tell that it doesn't sound so great, at least from that perspective. Although the vocal reproduction, I believe, is pretty good. So now I'm talking into the microphone with the foam filter on the top of it. So this has the foam filter. I did not change any of the settings, so I don't know if this is a little bit quieter because, I'm not talking directly into the microphone. The foam filter is there. And so this is what my voice sounds like with the foam filter on. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So I don't know if you can, that was kind of, if you could hear the the P's there. So this is, again, like I said, my voice through the RODECaster Pro with no processing and the foam filter on the microphone. And now this is the same setup, but now I have the pop filter in front of the microphone. So this is, again, the microphone with the foam filter and the pop filter on the microphone. So Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Again, this is the RODECaster Pro with the pop filter and the wind filter windscreen on the device. So I did go back and listen to all of what I just recorded there, and I think it actually sounds pretty decent overall. And I'm pretty happy with the sound, the tone of my voice. Like I said, there's no processing on it. It's kind of just the straight through vocal from the microphone through the RODECaster Pro to my computer into Premiere. And overall, I think it actually sounds pretty good, especially when you put the combination of the pop filter and the foam windscreen. It actually gets rid of all the plosives for the most part, and any kind of outside noise that you might be picking up around in your area, even if you're not, if it's not totally quiet. So I think it actually sounds pretty good. So let me know if you have any questions or comments. Go ahead and post those below. I'll link to this in the description to Amazon, and you can take a look at it there. This is Andrew from T is for Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.